Hi, my name is Peter. I'm 22 years old, and for the past 8 years, I've been living on the road and off the grid with my family, documenting our journey on our YouTube, The Epic Family Road Trip. Today, I'm sharing my adventures on my own channel, The Adventure Guys. My dream is to show you the remote places of the world by land, air, and sea, and to one day buy some land and build a homestead.
We had some good snow last night, another couple of centimeters, if not like 10 or 15 centimeters of snow. So we wanted to do some ice fishing a little bit later, and just gotta go check out the ice tent right now because I think with all the snow it might have collapsed out there. We'll go check to make sure it's still good.
Ready, Lando?
She collapsed.
Wow, that's some heavy snow. Looks like the zipper ripped open.
Yeah. Have to puff it back up and then clear out some of the snow.
That's crazy, it's so deep around here.
Yeah. This thing being the only object as well would collect all the snow that's blowing. Skating rink, guys.
Nice.
Nice.
The chairs in there?
Chairs, everything's still good.
4 chairs?
1, 2, 3, 4, yeah.
Nice.
All our tackle and everything as well. Orlando was with us. He's having a ton of fun running in that deep snow, but he turned around and ran home because he was falling into there's a few slushy spots and then just really deep spots of powder, and you'd see as he's running and then he'd almost fall and then keep running. So it was double his normal exercise just due to the depth of the snow. Well, now that the tent's secure again, Dad and I are gonna head out and just go on a couple of the trails in this deep powder and have some fun, and then head back in an hour or two for the Super Bowl.
Nobody's been up here. This is super deep snow, untouched, just powder. I have to go faster to stay on top of it, otherwise I'm just plowing it right over my head. Some powder there. Beautiful. You want to head up through the bush and back?
Dad and I just made it back. Today is -5, so we decided not to take balaclavas, but it got cold once we were crossing that lake, and it's pretty unreal. This is the most powder I've ever gone in on a snowmobile, especially out on those different lakes and in the coves of our lake here. It just builds up and builds up and builds up, and you can just stand and put your weight from side to side. That's the only way to really turn your sled, just by using your weight. And the powder's just blowing all over your face on, right through your goggles. It's a lot of fun. So tomorrow, hope to get out and do some ice fishing, and then go snowboarding, like drag someone behind on a snowboard, because this would be pretty unreal, I think, with that. Just all around have a fun time in the snow, because this is probably the best it's going to get this year. It's certainly a wonderland out there.
With the water now replenished, it's time to tend to the wood, which, as you can see, is empty. Both gathering water and wood are daily tasks. It's something you don't think about if you're not living off the grid, but your heat, the water you wash dishes with, cook with, and drink require replenishing by hand constantly.
Right now I'm gonna head out and meet the guy delivering the wood here at the marina. Just show him where to dump it and
drop it off, and then later we'll start taking the sleds out and loading it up and bringing it here to resupply our island's wood supply for the cabins. Hey.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm good. Where you like it?
Right about in there. That. Oh.
Where the truck was, the whatever vehicle was there?
Yeah. So our wood's arrived. It's just getting dumped now. Perfect. Thank you.
It's nice and dry, so
Yeah, looks good.
Bring some wood inside just for a day or two, then it makes it that much better. It
Okay.
acclimatizes,
Mm-hmm.
and you're all set.
Nice.
So how
Perfect.
far you gotta go across?
On that sled with a load, probably 30 minutes or so.
Holy smokes.
Across the lake, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without it, it could be 5 minutes, but that's just going as fast as you can.
Yeah, open one, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a nice sled? What year is that?
21.
21?
Yeah.
Lots of snow here, eh?
Yeah, beautiful. More than usual.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. This is our next project for a little bit of time. Shouldn't take too long, but like what I was talking about with Dan there, typically I can cross the lake in a few minutes, but that's going 130 plus kilometers an hour when you're just a free sled driving. Once you've got a load and the trailer behind you, you got to go a lot slower. So it could be half an hour or more per trip. And there's plenty of trips in this. We'll definitely take both sleds out and we'll try to beat a good path when we've got both of the snowmobiles going with trailers. It packs down a pretty good trail, one which the snow dog could potentially cross. Just because right now the conditions on the lake are deep powder, but then underneath that, a good ways underneath it, is a section of slush, which could definitely bog down something like the snow dog. But yeah, this is some high quality wood, and we definitely need it to be able to make it through the rest of February, on into March, and a little bit of April. We're still burning fires in there. Mom and Dad are out in town. They'll be back a little bit later. I'll come back out with a trailer towing behind my sled to help carry across their groceries, but then at that time we might also take both sleds back across with their trailers and start the first couple loads at least. Mom and Dad are back just as the sun is setting. Such a beautiful sight on all the snow. It's almost orange, almost pink color from the sun. The amount of wood we took inside is about a day's worth because we're burning nearly 24 hours worth of wood to keep the house warm. That fireplace almost hasn't stopped since November. I think already I'm missing winter and we're kind of in the heart of it right now. In a couple of days, Dan and I are gonna be heading to check out another property, maybe 2 other properties that are further north from here, and see if they're the properties we've been looking for. That other one's still on the list, but it's kind of pricey, and yeah, these other ones have their merits and at a lower cost, so we're excited to see them. On my way across the lake, I spotted Mom and Dad on their snowmobile, towing all the groceries. While I missed my chance to lend them a hand, it was definitely worth it to experience this sunset drive together. Hey, a little late. You guys go faster in the truck than the Jeeps used to. When you say I'm on the road, I normally wait 30 minutes, but you're there by that time. What's that?
And we got you this coffee too because it was really fresh and it's from your town.
Oh, nice.
So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, February 3rd it was roasted. So
Sweet.
pretty
A week
fresh.
old.
And then some other coffee there.
The heritage blend and all that.
But as soon as this was, or it was Oh, tons of baby ribs.
Nice.
Make a nice dinner.
Sweet.
Dad finally got his phone, a new phone, after the other one fell in the water with him about a month ago now. So he finally got a new one, so that was nice.
Sweet. That'll work.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make it on time to help them out. At least I was able to meet them out on the lake for that beautiful sunset ride. They make a lot better time in that truck than the Jeeps.
Dad will take you running. Go.
Dan's heading off to grab the fuel. I'm at about a quarter tank on my sled. And Dad's also here with the other sled and trailer. He got the Jenny hooked up to the truck. We got our 2 big trailers hooked up. We're gonna get all that wood as fast as we can, because back in there you can just see the corner of it is our snowmobile trailer covered in snow with that wood pile right in front of it. So we'll start going at this edge on the side here on the left, try to get rid of as much of that wood as we can so we can get the trailer out and get all the wood across the lake before the snow comes in.
I was thinking we should start on this side so we get the trailer out tomorrow if we have to, if we're not done this.
All right. First load ready to go. This piece is horrible.
What happened?
I think my belt blew, or it's really loose. It's been kind of making noise over the last few days, just from running like crazy, but I think with all the weight and everything,
These are heavy loads, like without the 850s.
2-inch paddles as well.
2-inch paddles, we would have been stuck.
100%. I went through that slush. It's just deep, like it, especially by Dan's Island there. There's deep slush, like basically as deep as my tunnel, like almost the depth of my old track, in just water and slush and a heavy load. So thankfully we have the 2-inch paddles, 146s on the backcountries, because or these are switchback assaults, but there's no way you could pull through that on a normal sled if you had any smaller tracks. Or
It's
yeah,
crazy out there.
but this belt looks worn down, so I got to figure out how to take it apart. I need to figure out the other thing, and then the other thing is we're on a hill with a lot of weight, so I can't move my secondary drive at all to make this easier.
Right.
Kind of want to be at. So the belt is sticking above
8
the
dozen
sheet.
millimeters, where are we going?
Now the bow and the belt is getting less.
full of slush. I don't think we're out of the woods yet, but it's at least mostly there. So after taking off the belt and inspecting it up there on the hill where I got stuck first, the belt seems almost in perfect condition. It was a brand new belt that came with the sled, and I've put like 400 clicks on it. So my initial thinking was I blew a belt, but then it's perfect. This is the belt here. It's pretty much brand new. I noticed some slippage, and definitely that the belt was extremely loose. And I think what happened was when you put on a brand new belt, over time of using it, especially going full speed, it stretches the belt a tiny bit, and you have to readjust your primary and secondary drives. At least your secondary drive you adjust a bit to tighten the belt up after a new one's been put on for a bit. So I did that adjustment up there. It was pretty simple, and it seems to have worked, except when I was driving around it just sounded a little weird still. And from what I could find online, there's not necessarily a right or wrong direction to put your belt. Of course, I don't think it's even possible to flip them inside out, but the writing's on top, except what a lot of people say is make it, this branding that's here, readable. So put it in where when you're looking at it you can read it, and I had it the opposite way. So I think it was installed this way and then I put it that way, and so it changed how the wear was interacting with my drives. The wear of the belt from me using it over the last couple 100 kilometers, I basically reversed it, so that was what was causing the slight vibration. So I'll put it in this way, drive it around a bit more and see if it works, and then I should be good. If not, I'll just replace the belt. I have two other belts. I have one in my sled and then a completely brand new one. The one that came with my sled actually looks like it was the guy's one that kind of wore down, and then he used it as a backup because it wasn't blown. Probably the same sort of situation as this. But this one looks even more new than the old one there. So I'm going to keep this belt until she blows, and we'll see if it works.
So we've offloaded our 2 loads of wood, and Dad went out and got another one while I was trying to fix up my belt situation there. But thankfully it wasn't a blown belt, just a little loose.
Last load, my sons.
I'll need to take, I think it's in my pockets. I'm gonna keep those tools on me until I'm confident. Well, I believe I got the belt issue sorted out. Just re-tightened the belt essentially, and it seemed to run great. I just did a quick loop around some of the islands around here, and everything was super responsive. The clutch was engaging at the right RPMs, and it felt great. So hopefully that's all it was it got a little stretched out, it being a new belt put on the sled when I first bought it, and a couple 100 miles down the road it just stretched a little. So now that she's tightened, hopefully that's good, and we'll be able to cross without an incident and make it back with another load of wood, and just keep chipping away at that pile until at the very least the trailer can come out, because we've got that early trip tomorrow morning to check out this property.
Even after all day of beating down trails through the snow across the lake, the slush is still very thick, and it's hard on the snowmobiles with such heavy loads to cross it. I kept my eye on the wood sled to make sure it didn't flip or pieces fell out during this turbulent crossing.
Probably three, yeah. One small one. Well, no, probably this one going out together, Dad. Yeah. And then I bet. Well, really there's only 2 more loads left. So for tonight, we'll be done. Tomorrow, when we're at the property, I guess, Dad and Mom can head out and get the last bit of wood. That's a decent amount of wood. We're basically back to where we were when we started winter, and we're midway through February. It's a good feeling.
Next week, Dan and I head out early in the morning to check out a property with the potential to be the site of our future homesteads. It's an exciting time as we near this next step and chapter in our lives, leaping into a relatively unknown world of total self-sufficiency, homemaking, and off-grid living.
It's pretty big, actually. This is a lot bigger than I thought the little cabin on here was going to be. And as long as it's not leaking, we should be able to fix it up. But we also need to check out the rest of the property.
A big thank you to my Patreon family. Your support is greatly appreciated.